Mr. Doorkeeper, get out your duct tape and, of course, your rubber bands, and make sure our doors are secure. We're about to experience a whole room filled with technical difficulties. Welcome to the 2015 Odyssey of the Mind World Finals. This is Problem 2, Division 3, Experiencing Technical Difficulties. This team has worked long and hard to create and now present their solution to this year's problem. And we ask for your undivided attention. Please turn off all cell phones, beepers, or any other device that may make noise, disrupt, or add to our technical difficulties. We are the guests of Michigan State University, so before leaving the room, be sure you have all of your belongings with you, and be sure and remove any trash that might have been brought to the competition site. In case of emergency, the fire exits can be found at the rear of the auditorium. If an emergency should arise, please move in an orderly fashion towards the doors. The team does permit the use of flash photography. Videotaping will be allowed, and there will be no strobe lights used in this performance. Now I'm proud to present to you team number 22063, Cedar Crest High School from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Give them a big round of final welcome! Team, are you ready?
The clock is in pieces.
The drama increases.
Judges, are you ready?
Stretch the limits.
Team, begin.
Let us tell you of a long-lost tale of timely troubles on a massive scale, in which our heroes could not fail as time itself becomes derailed. Let us tell you of our epic narrative, which my partner and I are quite imperative. We are the idea that keeps the clock going, the gears in Father Time's head, keeping him from slowing. We start with a family divine in nature, Mother Earth, Father Time, and their son who they cater. They named him Grim for his stony countenance and gave him the job of earthly maintenance. Though as he grew up, he became less enthused of his family business and, well, being just news. So he had to plan to end human exploration and give himself a well-needed vacation. He'd break up the clock that kept mortal time flowing, resting his sight without anyone knowing.
The great clock is in pieces. Who pulls such a ruse? Oh, it doesn't matter. What am I going to do?
And so Father Time came to ask for advice.
With life, Mother Nature to fix the device. So how do we fix it and get out of this pit?
We'll start with the pendulum. That's likely the culprit.
And thus it began with a swing and a click.
Each second too long and the clock would tick.
Tick? God, tick. Where? Get it off. Time flies are one thing, but ticks and get cough.
Watchdog, be quiet. I'm trying to think. The weight on the pendulum could be the king.
He pulled back a blade with a rubber band pitch.
But sliced off the weight and returned to its niche.
Once some weight was removed, the pendulum was tested.
And so one aspect of the clock was corrected.
Yet, some pieces still seemed to skew.
So they kept looking for the parts to renew.
Let's fix the lunar phases. That might give us a clue.
So they started to work, testing the rotation.
Flicking the ticker that held face and station.
This let loose coiled rubber bands below.
Spinning the dial so new phases would show.
Well, that wasn't it, or the phases wouldn't be different. After this part's repair, our solution's still distant.
In order to keep our testing consistent, let's try out the chime. We can start at this instant.
Upon the suggestion of Mademoiselle,
They set about fixing the clock's little bell.
Why isn't this working?
he said with dread,
Honey, I think that you might be misled. Could you read the instructions and try this instead?
I don't need the instructions. Well, maybe a little.
He spun the gear clockwise around its spindle.
this set the rubber bands so I clears it and gets in teeth.
The bell rang out clear by an arm underneath.
Well, this isn't the problem that we can deny. But
the music box causing the fuss.
Once more of the suggestions that they had discussed,
He tried spinning the handle so the pegs would catch.
pegs raised up keys and turned letting rubbers stretch.
And when the keys were released, the hammer hit each note.
And out of the music box, a melody did flow.
Soon they discovered that a piece was missing.
And just as soon found it with a bit of whistling.
Hey boy, do you know what this needs? It's something special that comes with a breed. So what do you think? Do you want to help? We need to borrow this, so try not to yell.
Oh,
Thanks, Watchdog. This one's the winner. And since you're here, could you look at the dinner? This might become quite time-consuming, but I feel a hunger in the stomach brewing.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about that. Maybe it's the clock's light that's causing this back.
and now it was time for the next clock's part.
But before the two could even start,
Their son, the one that had caused the problem,
the Grim Reaper, tall, clothed in black, saw them.
Hello, son. Have you met any ladies? We know that your dad wants some new little babies. Though you can't have a child out of wedlock. Your dad would like being the grandfather clock.
No time for chat. Have you heard the catastrophe? The great clock is in pieces. Who'd commit such blasphemy?
Whoo! Whoo! We've been trying to fix it the best that we can, but we've made little progress. Will you help us, young man?
he shook his head and turned with a smirk,
Little did they know he created this work,
though not because he'd gone berserk.
but to break from his job as a deathly clerk.
Well, that was a fluke. Not even worth a dime.
I know, right? Look at it. What a waste of time.
Watchdog, that isn't at all what he means. And hun, Grim's been that way since 15.
As always, you're right, though I never know how. Let's hurry this up and fix the light now.
Upon the departure of their ghastly guest,
They placed a small sphere inside of its nest,
pulling it back so the bands were stressed.
shot it through a tube, and as time progressed,
At the end of its path, when it reached its floor, a light was turned on, ending their chore.
There's one more simple thing we can try.
What is it, love? For my brain is fried. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
The cuckoo bird could stop our searching.
Well, in that case, less talking, more working.
Father timed at the steeple, pulling its pin,
freeing the pressure that kept the doors in.
for the doors were held with strained rubber bands.
So when doors opened wide, the bird's spring could expand.
And then once all the clock parts were fixed,
Father Time was left in a bit of a mix.
so we spun his gears until it clicked. And up his sleeve remained only one trick.
I suppose we have only one option, for so far we have tested only each portion. Let's start up the clock and hope for the best.
If there's any chance of ending this mess, I'd say it lies in your best guess. Now, try starting the clock and end our distress.
He turned on a light which started to heat.
The rubber bands that then began to retreat,
And the edge of the wheel which shifted the weight.
turning a circle, putting a mass to its fate,
As the mass fell, a string was tightened.
until its potential for expansion was heightened.
The tension flipped the switch, preventing the motion.
Of the clock's gears, so intricately woven.
And then all was solved.